Hello and welcome to this video on the Polyend Play Plus. I haven't done one for a couple of months because I've been busy working on other bits of gear, but a couple of months ago Polyend issued a firmware update for the Polyend Play and the Polyend Play Plus. For the Play it was 1.6 and for the Play Plus it was 1.2. It's the same update pretty much for both instruments. So I'm going to do a couple of videos to show off the two big features in that firmware update. The first of those is finger drumming. You may not think that finger drumming is a big deal, but once you've seen this video perhaps you might change your mind. I'm going to show you how to do it and how it's really good fun to do. So make sure you've got a project up on your Polyend Play Plus and make sure that it's got notes on the tracks. So we'll just play this little sequence I literally threw together last night in about 5 minutes. So as you can hear, it's pretty basic. I've got a kick drum, a snare drum, loads of percussion, a couple of melodic things. Nothing special musically, but enough to show you this finger drumming. So we've got our sequence loaded, it's playing back, everything's great. So this is how you set up the Play or the Play Plus to do the finger drumming. Make sure that the tempo is in focus. So at the moment we've got note up here, so I'm going to change that to tempo. And it's showing 120 beats per minute, the standard tempo, that's fine. Any tracks that I select by pressing the select buttons over here are going to be tracks that I can do finger drumming on. The top track here is the kick drum. I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to select that, so I'm going to run my finger down from track 2 down to track 8. I'm going to leave track 1 alone. Now track 1 that I haven't selected has got white pads, all the others have got blue. So these tracks 2 to 8 are going to be the ones that I'm going to be finger drumming on. Notice that the display has changed from beats per minute to track speed, which is 1:1, a ratio of 1 to 1, which is normal if you like. So unselected are white, selected are blue. Now either using the screen knob, this one here, or you can use the actual tempo encoder. You rotate to the left until the display changes to pads. I'll use the screen knob because you can see more if I do that, so I'm going to scroll to the left. Eventually I come to pads. So we're getting there. Now if I press play, only the unselected track or tracks will play. So if I press play, we're only going to hear the kick drum. That top track which is in white. So I've pressed play again to stop it. This is the crucial bit which you mustn't forget. You press the shift button to bring the BPM back up on the display. Now there it is, 120 beats per minute. Notice all the pads are turned white now. Don't touch any of the pads at this point, otherwise you'll make changes to the sequence. You'll either delete pads or you might mess up your sequence. So don't touch anything at the moment. Now when I press play now, you'll notice that the selected tracks will turn red and we'll still hear our kick drum. Press stop again, they turn white again. So I'm going to do that again, but this time those red pads I can actually play with my fingers, hence the term finger drumming. So let's see what we've got. So that's quite a lot of fun, isn't it? You can play live along with the track. You could have the whole lot selected and not have anything running, but I think it's quite good to have something to play too. Now, with it in this mode, you can actually make changes to the pads, both the selected and the unselected. So I'm going to set it going again. I've got this piano sample here, which I play. So if I press and hold it and I crank the reverb up, now I've got reverb on that but not on that one. Let's Bring that down a bit, it's a bit much. Let's change the note. So I've got two different notes now. Bear in mind, any changes you make to the red pads or the white pads obviously are reflected in the sequence. So if I were to come out of finger drumming mode, you'd hear that change of note on that pad there. You can't copy or delete any of the red pads by pressing pads, etc. Usually when you copy and paste, you hold one pad down, press another pad and it's copied. You can't do that with the red pads. You could do it with the white pads. So I could copy this bass drum to this pad, get rid of that, but I can't press and hold and copy in this mode. It's just for playing, but I could copy and paste using these buttons over here. So if I wanted to copy this pad here, press and hold it, press copy, and then hold another pad and press shift and copy, which is paste, and now I've got that pad copied to there. The only way I can delete that one I've added or copied is by holding it and holding shift and delete, and now it's gone. But you can't do it using the pads like you do when you're in normal mode, what I call normal mode as it is here. So it's pretty good, it's pretty flexible. So once you press play again, the sequence stops and the red pads turn back to white. So when you're in this mode, you can go to performance mode, but of course it's only going to be this track up here, which is the kick drum. If I select all these others, set this going, still only the kick drum I'm going to hear, because obviously all those other tracks 2 down to 8 are locked off so that we can play the pads. So you're going to want to know how to cancel this finger drumming mode. So you've got to make sure that you're back on the tempo control, because you need to reselect the tracks that you selected there. Notice it's saying pads again. Now if I don't stop this, as I rotate the encoder back to 1-1 away from pads, you're going to hear the timing mess up as it goes through all those different timings for the track. So I'm going to press stop, I'm going to rotate this till it's back to 1-1. Now I've got the whole sequence back. Notice how this note here, this one, do you remember I changed the pitch of that? And that's now reflected in the normal sequence. So let's put that back in finger drumming mode. So we're going to select all those pads except the kick drum, rotate this encoder, make sure you're on this track speed. If you're on one of the others, obviously it won't work, you've got to be on track speed. Rotate it back to pads. Now you have got to remember to press the shift button, then play, and then you've got your red pads back. If you've got it all working like this and you want to bring a couple of tracks back into normal playing mode, you can do that very easily. All you do is select those ones you've got to bring back. So supposing I want to bring back the piano track, select it, and the snare track up here. Now with those two selected, rotate the encoder to the right until it says 1-1. Okay, now press play. Now notice that we've got the kick drum, we've got the snare drum, and we've got the piano track playing, but the others are red. And I can finger drum on those. So it's not all or nothing. You can have all 8, or you can have 1 or 2 for finger drumming and the rest for normal play. You get the idea. The other thing I want to tell you is that this works over MIDI as well. You'll notice I've got my Polyend synth MIDI'd up to this, so MIDI out from the Polyend Play into MIDI in of the Polyend synth. Now I've got the two MIDI together, so on the Polyend synth, if we look at the settings for MIDI, clock in, transport in, both on MIDI in jack, which is fine. I've got three synths set up here. You'll notice over here on the Polyend Play Plus, if I go to the MIDI page, so shift, now you can see that I've got three tracks for the three synths. This one is set to jack channel 1, MIDI channel 1. This one is MIDI channel 2. This one is MIDI channel 3. So this top track is the first synth. The second track is the middle synth. And the third track is the right hand synth. Notice these new colours on the Polyend synth. We've had those new colours since the latest update on that, and I did a video on that a few weeks back. So we've got this little sequence. I'll just turn off the Polyend Play and just turn on the Polyend synth on my mixer. So that's my little sequence I've set up here. So I'm now triggering notes on the Polyend synth, which is great. But of course I can do the same thing on this with the finger drumming. So I can press select on these. Let's do all three tracks, shall we? Alright, now I go to the tempo button. I rotate till I see pads. Press the shift button to bring the BPM back. If I do this I won't hear anything because I've set all three tracks for finger drumming. The machine is playing but I won't hear anything until I That's finger drumming on the MIDI side of things. I could bring the kick drum back, this third track. So I just press select. I rotate from pads round to 1-1. Now when I press play, the kick drum is playing. I say kick drum, it's this track over here, which is a kind of a drum kit. But these, I can still do finger drumming. I can change the note. Change the note here. I've changed this note here, so now I have a nice mixture of synth 3 being sequenced, playing back normally, these four kind of kick drum sounds. These, that's synth 1, and that's synth 2. They're set up for finger drumming, they won't play normally. So leaving that kick drum synth running, it's like a metronome, isn't it? So that's pretty good, isn't it? Right, so let's select that kick drum track, go to the tempo control, scroll back to pads. I need to press shift. So now you won't hear anything because it's all set up for finger drumming. So now I've got the kick drum, the snare drum and the piano track playing normally, and these tracks can bring this note up. So now I've changed that note. And on the MIDI side of things, this is all set up for finger drumming. Let's change a note here. Just playing live. None of this gets recorded. It's purely for fun. If you've got something that all this is plugged into, you could maybe record it like a DAW or maybe something like an OP1. This is just for fun playing live. Let's bring that track 2 on the MIDI side of things back into normal play. So press select, make sure you're on the tempo, bring this back. You might hear a few funny noises as I change this back. Yeah. Okay, it messes things up if you do that, so you often have to stop and start again. Now that track is playing normally, the other 2 tracks are set up for finger drumming. So it's a very flexible system. Just remember, most important of all, that whatever you change when you're finger drumming, if you change the notes or the filter or the reverb send, it's changed in the normal sequence as well. So make sure you've got your project saved so you can go back to it if you want to. So I hope you found that interesting and useful. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. You can make a donation to me via YouTube or on my website, which is www.daddylonglegs.com. That's very much appreciated and really helps me to carry on doing what I'm doing for you. Thank you very much for watching, and you'll see me in my next video.